I am Kit Cassingham, founder of and Chief Energizing Officer at Live in Focused Energy. Welcome back. Today is day 3 of my Facebook stream, my Facebook Live. I wanted to continue on this general thread I've been talking about of how chaotic my life has felt, how I felt I wasn't on stable, solid ground. In addition to that, I also felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. I told you that I was studied and went to PLF, product launch formula events, and met people and did things and towards building my business. And then I met Brendan Burchard and learned about the High Performance Academy and coaching and all things very nicely dovetailed with Jeff's work. And I got my life together. But all of that learning and continued learning and doing, I really felt like I was drinking from a fire hose. I know what they tell me to do, and I think I'm doing it. Nothing happens. And they say just try harder, so I do, and the fire hose volume just gets more and more. I also was getting brain fog. There would be times that I would be talking to somebody, forget what their name was, what I was talking about. That is so uncomfortable. And for somebody who used to be able to tell you, last time we talked about these things, and I'd get the order right, and what you said and what I said. So to not remember any of that was kind of hard. So, hi Leslie, good to see you. So to all of a sudden have this brain fog was really rough. I got relief from some of that brain fog when I discovered brain vitamins that Amen Clinics puts together. And when I went to my first High Performance Academy, I remember stepping out of the classroom one day going, oh, I'm back. Because I felt like I'd put myself into this cage and closed the door. And I'd at least opened the door and was standing on the doorstep of the cage and have proceeded to try to fly out of that cage periodically. But I find myself back in. Sometimes I even close that door again. No, that's not what I want. So the discomfort was the brain fog, that vortex, tornado, water reverse spout. Water spouts go up or down, but anyway. The rug, the drinking out of the water fountain. But then I remembered that the comfort I would find is learning to slow down, getting it, taking it step at a time, and paying attention to my health. I started really paying attention when I decided I was going to heal my thyroid without medication. I take it, but the intention is to be well enough that I don't need that. People keep telling me that can't happen, and I keep telling them that they're wrong. We just don't know all the tricks yet. But anyway, I kept going through all this stuff, and then one day the light bulb went on. Randy and I had hit kind of a speed bump, rough spot in our marriage, so we went in for a fine-tuning. And as our counselor was listening to us talk and grump and stuff, she said, you two are reacting to Randy's ADD. What? And she proceeded to tell us all the things that are characteristics of people with ADD. And I had no idea. I thought ADD was being hyperactive and just never being able to stop, be it your mouth or your motion or whatever. You've been with people who tap their foot or their knee constantly, or people who talk all the time and can't stop. That's ADD, right? No, there's a lot more to it. I mean, the bottom line is that if you're restless, impulsive, distractible, you probably have some kind of ADD. It was an eye-opener for both Randy and me. So we decided to start figuring out, learning more about it. So I bought some books. I've been reading them. And I was reading them with the idea that if I understood what I was up against, I wouldn't react to it so much. Argumentative is one of the things that's characteristic of people with ADD. Boy, did we have that. Whew. But as I was reading the book, so if if I understood it, then I could be more supportive, less reactive, and that all seemed really smart and good. But as I read the books, I realized I've got ADD too. So two people with ADD living together, working together, trying to make it work, no wonder I felt like life was crazy. And it's no wonder that when I was with Jeff and Brendan and other people who were organized and structured, that I felt organized and structured. So the light bulb went on, and I kept studying more. So there are, depending on who you listen to, anywhere from 3 to 7 different types of ADD. Doesn't matter how many they are. Randy and I have slightly different variations of it. So I no longer have to think, boy, is he being a jerk. He's not falling into that stereotype of husbands never listen to wives. No, he has ADD and he's doing what people with ADD do. And when I come charging back at him, and when I prattle on, or it's contagious, my aunt had this too. You tell a story forever, sometimes with no end, sometimes with an end. And I would do that and Randy would tune out. But that's partly my ADD going on. So knowing all that has been really helpful. And that's what made me realize I've got the tools to pull my life back together with. How exciting! How wonderful! So that's what I'm doing. I told you that I had a structured life as a kid, that with that structure, not only did I get my homework done on time and do piano lessons and swim meets and stuff, but I also was able to do some independent study classes. That was pretty cool. And Leslie says, oh, Leslie, you have that too, huh? I'm glad you want to hear more about it, because that's what you're going to hear if you keep listening. Good. I think a lot more people have ADD than they understand, because I'll bet most people think it's that hyperactive thing. But sometimes it's just our brain that's hyperactive, and sometimes we have to tune out to calm down that brain. So Leslie and I both have gone sugar-free. I don't know how many times Leslie has, but I have several times. 8 months was my longest stint of no sugar. I have an associate who's doing sugar-free right now too. And it's interesting to watch her comments and reactions and stuff. But the reason we crave sugar, Leslie, you listen to me, is because the sugar, in a crazy way, helps calm down our prefrontal cortex. And that's kind of like the executive function of the brain, and that's what tells us to tune out or pay attention or go to the meeting or whatever. And when we've got ADD, we aren't always in control. So there are non-medication ways of dealing with that. And fortunately for me, I've been doing a lot of those things. So that I can manage my thyroid, I've been exercising almost every day, riding my bike, stationary bike, while it lets me catch up on movies and TV programs, 30-ish minutes a day. When I'm really crazed, I'll do a full hour. Then, let's see, eating more vegetables, paying attention to my protein intake, trying to get a lot of plant-based foods into myself. Not doing the sugar, which includes alcohol. Alcohol is easier to give up than the sugar. I find that interesting. But the brain vitamins, that has been really helpful. That's CoQ10, omega-3s, a bunch of different things that I'm taking. So, see, I've distracted myself. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So the childhood was structured and I got lots of things done. And my young adulthood, same way. But the flip side was that let's see, I'm back, okay. I found my first grade report cards, and the teacher repeatedly said, kid has such a short attention span. Kid needs to pay closer attention. Things like that. And then I got into high school, and maybe some of it was hormones, but it also was, I would just feel like this black mood, this black monster would descend on me. And I had dark thoughts, and all of a sudden my best friends weren't my friends anymore. And they didn't do anything wrong, they just, this monster just kind of turned me off to them. Through the years in counseling and my meditation practice, I've calmed that monster. I hardly ever see it anymore. Though Randy may say he sees it, but that's okay. That's part of what husbands say to wives. But the other thing that's happened, and this is characteristic of ADD, is I have a lot of unfinished projects. I have a lot of clutter. Mine's not as bad as Randy's, but this isn't a competition. The clutter on my desk, in my house, in my closet, it really affects my whole way of living, and I'm not liking that. So I now know, so I've got sewing a lot. I'd like to sew more, but I will continue with the exercise, the vitamins, the healthy foods, and I'm going to also get life structured. I took one of Brendan's tools. Let's see if this will show up. Yeah, I think it does. I created my own time management so that the people I need to reach out to, I'll list them first, and then my priorities for today. Remember I said that I knew what I was going to do for a year out. My 3 projects are walking the Camino this fall, getting my coaching business up and running and profitable, and learning. That's always a goal of mine. I love to learn. But I will be finishing projects, not just starting them and setting them aside. This is going to help me get my clutter and chaos under control so my brain can be under control. I didn't understand why it bothered me so much, but it does. And I also am going to pay attention to my 4 buckets of life, my health, wealth, work, and play. So I'll be reaching out to friends and associates and neighbors. I will start attending meetings, local meetings. So I've got some interaction, not just Facebook. Love my friends on Facebook, but I need real people to interact with. So I will fill my time management tool out when I'm done here. I was hoping to have it done before we started, but oh well, I didn't. And tomorrow I will be blocking my time so that I've got a little time for the things that are important to me, that further my goals, that get me closer to my end game for the year. Join me. If you find that you struggle with the chaos, the not meeting your priorities and goals, projects don't get finished, whether you have ADD or not, whether your significant other maybe has ADD and you're just reacting to that, or maybe you just have ADD moments, come join me on my journey back to stability and sanity. Leave questions, post them here as you listen to this, the replay that you do. Sign up to be part of my Facebook Live page. Sign up for my newsletter on liveinfocusedenergy.com. But let's interact. Let's have fun together as we get our mojo back, and let's be sure to share the joy. It makes life much better. Harvard just reported that joy is the secret to longevity, more than health or anything else. So let's be happy. All right, I'm Kit Cassingham, founder of and Chief Energizing Officer at Live in Focused Energy. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll do more. Have a great day.